What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Josh here at the Old Card Shop, and today I've got a pretty exciting video. This is something I've been waiting for about a week now. I made a purchase recently on eBay. I don't make a lot of purchases of collections these days, even though that's one of my favorite aspects about this hobby is finding. It feels like it's a treasure hunt every time you purchase an old collection and get to dig through it, look to see what you find. But over the last few months, as things have sort of gotten onto the hype train and prices have exploded, everyone who sort of had Pokemon cards before in their closet sitting around, I feel like they've stopped selling them at a bit of a bargain. So everyone knows what they've got, and you don't see so many deals that you can capitalize on. But today, I have a really exciting purchase. I actually found a really good deal, and look at this box here. This is how the collection came. I'm wondering if it was in a binder or if it was in sleeves, but that right there alone sort of shows me one of my flags that I look for when I'm purchasing collections. Now, if you're buying from someone who's a seasoned seller and seasoned eBay or online marketplace user, you'll see in their profile that they have a lot of feedback, usually a little gold star, and tons of sales. Now, that's not something you'll usually find good deals from, unfortunately, as far as collections are concerned. But those are people that are great to buy sealed product from, or buy regular products, they're good regular business from, because they're a seasoned seller who's going to ship things, package things up well, and usually have a really good rapport with their customers. And so when you're looking to buy something like a collection, on the other hand, though, oftentimes the best way you can get the best deals is when you're looking for people who actually have very little to no feedback in their seller or marketplace portal. Now, oftentimes that's not a good thing, because you want to buy from someone, have more confidence in them, so you want to see those numbers be pumped up a little bit. But in this case, when someone's looking to just sell something, oftentimes if it's someone who had something sitting around in their closet, even if it's something really nice, they can go onto eBay and look up the price. But as far as whole collections are concerned, a lot of these folks who are selling their collections aren't sellers typically on eBay who buy and sell and wheel and deal. That's why they're looking to sell everything as a lot. And so with this particular lot, the seller I had purchased from had zero feedback. Now, typically that's once again a red flag, but for me it was a flag, actually, a big flag that I wanted to go ahead and check out. So I contacted the seller. I saw a few different lots on eBay. He had 11 different lots. Each one was a different page of his binder, all listed for the same price. And so that price was, I think he had it for $100 per page, which was hugely inflated, because there were only probably 2 pages in that entire collection, and a few things scattered in about of the pages that would have been maybe worth paying that $100 or more for. I would probably say it might be worth paying more for looking at these pages. But you know what happened was, I'd been watching these lots on eBay for about a week, and they actually went through their whole cycle of a week-long auction cycle, and not one person bid on them. So they went back up and got relisted. And so I contacted the seller when I saw that. And so typically when that happens, people are a little bit more willing to lower their prices. And I just asked the seller what he would be willing to do on the price. And it was a really good deal. He ended up cutting me out. So I ended up buying the whole collection. So here we go. I do want to switch camera angles so we can get into this collection, because this is something I'm really excited about. So let's dive in, and I'll see you again in a moment. All right, here we go. I decided to just do the whole unboxing on video here, because I'm very curious to see how it's going to be packaged up. Now, oftentimes when you do buy from these sellers on eBay that have low feedback settings or feedback ratings, you get some interesting packaging here. I specifically asked in the request for him to package it carefully, so hopefully this is a careful packaging procedure. But let's go ahead and open it up and see how it goes on the video. Now, I won't say exactly what I paid for this collection, because the price is definitely, and what it's worth is going to go up and down, and the price alone isn't necessarily the important part. But definitely the important takeaway from this video is going to be, do your diligence. Just watch your sellers, marketplaces, your buyer and selling marketplaces. Watch carefully. I'm always on eBay, I'm always on Marketplace, I'm always watching for, here we go, it's like a treasure trove, deals to pop up. And that's kind of what you got to do. You don't want to pounce on the first thing that you see also, because a lot of the time, oh, there, it's in a binder. All right, cool. So this collection, I think, was about 11 pages, he said, and it looks like he may have thrown in some extra stuff. So, wow. All right. let's dive right into it. This is exciting. So, all right, let's, one issue I have with binders and shipping in a binder, sometimes things get slid out and cards fall out. So let's go ahead and see if that happened. But, dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh man. Okay. So if you guys have been following the channel for a while, you probably know that by now I collect, this Black Star promo EV number 11 from Wizards of the Coast era. This is a card that's a personal favorite of mine, and this is actually what led me to find this particular seller's listings. And so I saw he had this particular page up, just listed as a page of Pokemon cards, this for $100. I saw that, and of course the first thing I saw, my eyes led me to, were those beautiful EVs. And so I messaged him. I asked him if he'd only sell the EVs. I was purchasing, at this point, they're about $10 a pop. And so I asked if he'd sell the whole thing for, $40-50. But just the EVs. So he said, I might be interested, but I want to let it kind of go. And I really wanted to sell the whole collection. And so then I of course, asked him, well, looking at the rest of the collection, I looked at his other pages. I'm not gonna go ahead and take any of these out of the pages right now. I'll do that in a separate video, or maybe later on in the video. But I asked him what else he had, and so he showed me the rest of his collection here, and man, he had some cool stuff. And so it looks like there's some cool shadowless base set cards here. Not really the big hitters, but definitely some interesting ones. These Ancient Muse looking really good. Nice condition. It does look like these were kept, and he said he kept these in a binder for most of their life, and so it's in great condition here. Look at all these Black Star Mews. Now this is the non-holographic version of the Mew. Still really cool to collect. These are looking, some of which somewhat minty, some of which not so much, but they're kind of fun. They're good to collect. Here, ooh, wow, here's a base set first edition Voltorb in the binder. That is very nice. That's a cool find. I think I'll go back through and make a little video about some of the values of some of these. Now this is an interesting one. I did see this page in the listings here, and this was a page that particularly was interesting to me, because when you turn over the page, look at it, there it is. See the crimped Mew right there? Now I will take this one out, because that's something that you see commonly in Charizards from the Champions Path set. But here, this is gonna be, get a little closer. See that crimping across the top? That's something that did not come from somebody's zipper, getting caught in a zipper. This is something that actually came from directly from packaging and manufacturing. And this is something that's very rare, and is actually valuable to some people. So I'm gonna sleeve this one up right away. That I thought was worth purchasing the page. And this is not only just an iconic card, but it's a really good condition one too. It's a cool era card, and so I like that. That's a really nice one. Set that aside. But yeah, get into some other interesting things. This particular collection had a whole lot of first edition in it, and so that led me definitely to be interested. And so I paid a little bit of a premium for it. But first edition, especially if these were kept at all in decent condition, and somebody liked Goldeen's, is actually really nice to see, and really worth, I think, anyone's time. So first edition is just a historic set, especially jungle. This is a lot of jungle and fossil first edition. Of course, you're seeing all these interesting commons, sparrows. Some of the conditions on these are pretty worn. I don't see anything that's really pack fresh, not too pack fresh at least. But here we're getting some little bit more spicy finds, some rares, first editions again. Just check out the condition. Oh, now these conditions look pretty good. Now I think these are definitely nice. Here's a page that I saw as well that I was really interested in. This is something I love Eevee. Now Eevee's, of course, everyone loves Eevee. I think it's one of the most popular Pokemon of all time. But this particular Eevee is the first ever appearance of Eevee in the trading card game. So we got 5 first edition Eevees here, with Meowth as well. Meowth's really cool. The Eevees, let's go ahead and check out the back. Ooh, looks like one of them are really nice. Looks like it's pack fresh, almost. 2 of them pack fresh. An Eevee, yep. Man, that's nice. Okay, cool. And we'll get into some other interesting things. So we are seeing some promos here, some first edition Pikachus. Now everyone, of course, loves Pikachu. It's hopefully in good condition. Now the seller did mention in his correspondence with me that he had opened a couple of packs. Those look really nice. Some of those look nice, some look better than others. He said he opened a few first edition packs a few years back and just threw them directly in the binder. So I'm guessing a few of these are pack fresh condition, but oh man, more big hitters. I love errors, and so these are two errors that you may see. See how it says first edition there, Jungle, but it has that base set Electrode. That's a common error in the Pokemon world, and it's a really fun error that I didn't already have. So I saw this page as well in his listing, and this was something I was definitely interested in picking up. We've got Jigglypuff, first edition here, Clefable. I love that Jigglypuff with the music notes. Really nice artwork, iconic artwork here. Looks like one of them's really, really minty as well. Okay, good stuff. Got some more first edition, rando stuff here. Okay, cool. Look at that. Charmander. Okay, Charmander first edition from Rocket. Really nice art. I love that art. Yeah, pretty good condition here as well. You know, nothing too shabby. Can't complain. Here we go. That's what I like to see. Psyduck. I love Psyduck. He's also one of my personal favorites. That looks good. That looks pretty good. Yeah, okay. Well, very cool. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and take all of these out of the binder and check out the condition and see if any of them are potentially gradable. So yeah, thanks for coming by. Let's go ahead and see where this leads us here. All right, took the time to take all the cards out of the collection, out of the binder, and then put them into penny sleeves. The one page of shadowless cards didn't look to be of good enough quality to grade, so I just took that whole page out and put it into my shadowless collection. I sort of accumulate shadowless cards. First edition cards are fun, but I really like shadowless base set cards. Those are my personal favorite of the first printings of base set. You know, you have base set first edition, you have the base set unlimited, you have the shadowless base set, and then you have the last print of base set, the 1999 to 2000 printing. That came out in the UK, single origin boxes, which are super rare, super niche. But my favorite of all of those are the classic no first edition stamp, first true printing of the cards in English, which is the shadowless base set. So a lot of people don't know this, or maybe don't count this, but to me, the shadowless set is going to be a lot more special. That's just because a lot of folks consider first edition to be the first print, because of course it has that first edition stamp. But I do have a theory. I theorize that they went ahead and printed the shadowless set first, and then printed first edition stamps on the rest of their cards in that print run after that shadowless print was made, just because it would make sense to do it in that order. And then of course the first edition and then the shadowless were both released. The shadowless, no one really knows the true numbers on shadowless, first edition, and unlimited. Of course, everyone knows there's a ton of unlimited out there. There's less first edition, and it is my personal hypothesis, and I believe in a hypothesis of many others in the hobby, that shadowless, but not first edition, is actually the rarest and lowest print run of those original Pokemon sets. So let's go ahead and dive into this collection, though. Enough little random trivia. This is what we had in our collection here. Now, a nice little spread of what mostly is first edition and promos. A first edition jungle set, and then a lot of promos here in the middle. I went and separated this lot out. Now, I did get a large amount of bulk first edition. Every single one of these is first edition jungle, common, uncommon, moderate to heavy play, a few light plays here and there cards. And I didn't bother sleeving those up in penny sleeves because they'll just probably go in a bulk box. The rest, though, are in sleeves because I do think that they're worthy of it. We have the first edition jungle rares here. Now, these are all moderate play to heavy play. Maybe a couple I would consider light play, but nothing worth sending in to get graded. I am looking at, with this particular submission, a PSA submission. Now, if you're a fan of the channel, you know that in recent videos, I spoke a lot at length on CGC. CGC has a quicker turnaround, cheaper grading. Well, it's not, so it is and it isn't. It's cheaper, but it's not. It's cheaper if you don't use the bulk services. So if you use the bulk services of PSA, PSA is the cheaper of the two. But if you don't use the bulk services, CGC will be cheaper and quicker. But for this particular submission, I'm looking at PSA because as far as PSA is concerned, they do not only command the highest price for resale value, and a lot of these will be going up for resale on the website, but for vintage Wizards of the Coast era cards, where a lot of folks collect PSA because it's been a long and established longer, it just seems as if Wizards of the Coast does better in a PSA slab at this point. So there are a couple notable exceptions. I am going to be taking these 3 cards, so this Ancient Mew and these 2 Error Electrodes, and they'll be sending off to CGC to get slabbed up, because the CGC company will actually grade and authenticate errors and printing defects. And this is the Mew with the right there, the print crimp, and so that'll be a fun one. It's in pristine condition other than that little crimp up there from the packaging. And then these 2 electrodes are the first edition Jungle with the base set art, so that'll go to CGC to get slabbed up as an error as well. But the rest of these cards, I went ahead and looked at the values of what they would come back as. I estimated them coming back as 8s and 9s. I'm not going to assume any 10s, but it is kind of fun to talk about the 10s occasionally, and there are a couple that I think have the potential. So this Charmander here is going to be a nice little return if it comes back as a PSA 8 or 9. I saw PSA 8s going for somewhere around $80 to $90, and a PSA 9 selling about $130 pretty regularly. So that's a nice double submission to put in for Charmander First Edition from the Rocket set there. And so then we have my favorite card and a very, 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 very nice EV. This particular EV is very difficult to grade. The 10s are essentially a myth in the grading community. There are 4, I believe, on record in PSA. Maybe a couple more hit the populations, but because of the way it was packaged, it was really difficult to grade. And so even if that comes out as a PSA 8, which I do believe it has 9 potential, PSA 8s of that particular EV sell for about $100 to $125. And so that's a nice little return if that comes even as an 8, as low as an 8. Now these 2, now the one underneath is going to PSA to get slabbed. The Ancient Mew looks to be pristine. It could be an 8, 9, or 10. Those will go for anywhere from $100 to $150, and so they're very prevalent. They're all over the hobby, but they're also iconic. So I think that's a really fun one to have slabbed up, especially in a PSA slab. The Meowth is going to go, if it comes back, Jungle First Edition first look at Meowth is going to be in a PSA 9, $90, selling all day on eBay, best last sold, and $140 plus for PSA 10. So let's hope something nice comes back with that. I just love Meowth though, so it'll be a fun one to have slabbed up. Now we have 4 Eevee First Editions from the Jungle set. That's the first ever appearance of Eevee. Great art. Something that I hope comes back as a high, strong 8, 9, or 10. Now with 4 chances, all of which looking to be at least PSA 8 or above. PSA 8s go for around $40 to $50, PSA 9s about $90 to $100, and PSA 10s upwards of $200 to $250. So if anything like that comes back, we'll be very happy about any of those. Jigglypuff here, very, very good condition. PSA 10, PSA 9. 9s will go for around $80 to $90, and the PSA 10s, if we're lucky, we'll get for $200 is the last sold on eBay. Around that, a little over, but the best offer accepted. So we'll call it around $175 to $200. These electrodes, these are uncertain as to what the value is. There are no last solds for PSAs because PSA does not necessarily grade errors, so I had a hard time finding them. But I'm guessing at least 100 to 150 with the right buyers in an error community. So these are nice ones to have, and I just think that that's a really fun error I remember how confused I was when I first saw that as a child. Cubone, fan favorite. Lots of folks love Cubone. That one goes for, in a PSA 9, $100 easy, and a PSA 10 over $200. Now, of course, Pikachu, we have 2 quality Pikachus. There was a third here as well as an Eevee and a Meowth and Jigglypuff and Psyduck that did not make the cut, but these 2 certainly did. And if either they come back as a PSA 8 or a PSA 9, I would be happy. A PSA 8 Pikachu from the Jungle edition, just no W stamp, classic first edition Jungle Pikachu, will go for around $130 to $140 in the last sold of eBay. And then if you end up getting, if we get lucky enough to pull the 10, then that's a $300+ return. So that one certainly would make it worth it. As far as Scyther, Pidgeot, and Venomoth are concerned over here, these 3 are going to be just something I'm sending in because they are very good quality, and I think there are collectors out there collecting PSAs of many different numbers, so 8s, 9s, 10s. I don't think any of these are 10s, but I think they're the quality that I would say is a 7 or 8 or a 9 possibly. And so if any of those come back, I'll just probably throw them up on the website. Hard to find last solds on those ones. I think they'll go, we'll call them between 75 and 100 each. But that's about where they were sitting last. And so now on these second 2 rows here, this is some fun stuff that's just going to go into the personal collection. We have my personal favorite Eevee in the entire hobby. This is the Black Star 11 promo Wizards of the Coast Eevee. This is the first ever rare holographic Eevee that they produced, and it's also just, I think, a beautiful card. And so I initially was drawn to this lot just based on those Eevees. And so thanks, Eevee. You'll be going right into my binder though, and that'll help add to my collection. Now, I've also been accumulating a small position of Ancient Mews, just picking up collections over the years. And so this is going to be just more Ancient Mews. We'll call them light play to heavy play to moderate play. Nothing too crazy. They're not bad, but a few of them have some corner edge wear. And we'll just put those in a binder somewhere. I just love how they look on a page, and I think they display really nicely. So that's what those are for. These are 2 cards from the Neo series that'll go into my set, my personal set. I think these are rares that I need for my my sets that I am collecting. I'm trying to collect a set of each of the Wizards of the Coast era Pokemon cards. I've gone all the way up to the Neo sets, and I'm working through those, and I'm sort of putting together a little e-reader collection as well. So we'll see how that develops, but that's what these will go to, is to my Neo collection. Some interesting things down here, a couple first edition jungle cards, an old Japanese card. Everyone's got to have some Japanese cards in their collection. Couple promos, got the I think they call this the Ivy Pikachu or the Baby Pikachu, and then I've got a Mewtwo, promo Mewtwo from the movie, and then a couple of first edition cards that didn't really seem worth grading. So yeah, I got overall a pretty nice little collection here that I acquired. I am pretty happy to share it with you guys, and hope you were able to kind of have some fun looking through this with me. Thanks again for coming, and I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. So if you like the video, please give me a like and a subscribe. It really helps me keep on going, and hope to see you guys back in the next one. All right, thanks. Have a good day. Bye, guys.